Hey guys, today we're going to examine the newest leverless offering from Paradise Arcade, the MPress Nano. This is a brand new device which debuted at EVO 2023 where it had people waiting in substantial lines to get one for themselves. I didn't attend this year, but I had my buddy grab me this Pink Panther themed one here. As far as first impressions go, that metal heft suggests quality, and it does look very vibrant. You can mix and match how you'd like, and a lot of the allure outside of the Nano's extremely thin design is the anodized aluminum color selection. More on that here in just a bit. They didn't stick down the adhesive backing because I was going to be opening it up, but a customer should expect that ready to go. It came bundled with the appropriate cable, and at the time of this video, these Nanos are listed at that $180 price point. Let's first look at the Nano's dimensions. It has a familiar footprint, similar to Micro's. The aluminum body adds some weight beyond what's usually expected, which I appreciate. Most curious is just how thin the overall unit is. It is less than half the thickness of comparable competitors' offerings for a really sleek form factor. You'll also notice that the layout is similar to the original MPress and that the buttons are slightly bigger than the usual 24mm defaults. And I know that was a much loved feature in the original. Other than the slightly bigger buttons, it's a more or less standard all-button layout, centered on the light punch button. The aux buttons are here, and these are their functions. Now, here's a quick sound check. You'll notice that the volume of those clicks is a bit atypical. That's because most of the portable leverless controller offerings make use of low-profile linear switches, typically a red variant. The Nano, on the other hand, has gone against those established norms. Their switches are a Cherry MX Ultra Low-Click variant, typically used in laptops. I think part of the reason for this direction had to do with keeping everything so thin. They appear to be quality switches, rated at nearly 50 million cycles, but it's a shame that these are not hot-swappable so a user could dial in their ultimate controller feel. The appeal of these switches may be a deciding factor for a player in the market for a new leverless. I've only had the Nano for a few days, so I haven't played on this long enough to have a strong opinion on the switch choice yet, but I can definitely tell it's different from what I'm used to. Not bad, just different. However, a user should consider the switches as a permanent install, and that actually goes for the keycaps as well. Once you commit to a color theme, treat that choice as a locked-in decision. That sort of flies in the face of what we typically expect in regard to fight stick customization these days. Still, what they lack in after-purchase aesthetic upgrades is sort of evened out by the initial amount of color customization. There are EVO branded ones and 7 case color options, as well as a slew of different injection molded cap colors, which are allowed to mix and match. I've confirmed that there will also be special edition color runs and the like a ways off into the future. And speaking of upgrades down the line, Paradise has plans to release 2 other PCBs in the coming months. The end of September Brook PS5 version would allow compatibility with that system without use of a wingman, as it requires it right now. And then in November, Paradise will debut a GP2040 CE board. I would also assume that you'll be able to choose the most appropriate PCB as you order. Another thing to note is that the Nano utilizes many more screws than other comparable controllers, and to open these up you'll actually need a T10 Torx bit. Then, the aluminum core PCB can disconnect easily. Right now, the default buying option means that under the hood is a custom board running a branch of the original Cerberus code. It supports PC and PS3, and they do have some firmware updates for the Switch scheduled for the coming weeks. I'm not overly familiar with the Cerberus, but the Phreaks Cerberus no connector version did have an S-tier lag rating with the sub 0.99 ms delay rating, so I'm assuming that this is largely in line with that since the code should be so similar. I experienced no lag issues and the device did feel very responsive. As of this video's release, the Nano isn't yet available on the Paradise Arcade website, but they expect their online order page to go live in the next few days, so check there to confirm supply and color options. Big thanks to Phreaks and the PA team for answering my questions about the unit, and even bigger thanks to my buddy, NotEvenAnIssue, who almost got DQ'd in pools from waiting in line to buy this for me at EVO. I appreciate you. And you, viewer. If you found value in the content, I would love if you left a like so that I can justify continued reviews and part breakdowns. A lot of effort goes into getting thorough videos out quickly to help you make those informed buying decisions. Anyway, thanks for watching. Support your locals, and I'll see you next time.